correct me if I'm wrong. You used to be, a pro gamer, and you thought we were only just talking about music here?
Oh my gosh, now I gotta think.
So we're doing something exclusive for the people who are listening right now. You're all gonna hear the first demo of Sushi Date.
It's
Yeah.
I. And I am thinking about making like an EP or something, maybe next year.
Ooh. Let's give the
this is-
viewers, what they want to hear.
Back, it's gonna sound like oh my god, I'm gonna sound like a.
Hey, be transparent.
I was low key hate watching.
That's why I hated you, because you beat me.
I don't know why.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Shaun Ivory in the building. We have the one
What's
and
good?
only Shaun Ivory. What's going on, Shaun?
What's good? What's good, man?
Hey.
I'm chilling.
I just want to say thank you for being part of this episode, Color in the App.
Yeah, man. Of course. Thank you for having me.
And I know that we've known each other for years and whatnot, but I still want to pick with your brain and go a little bit more deep into knowing more about you from your music and as well other things too, which you'll find out along the way. While I set this up, you want to give a little, short introduction about yourself?
What's good? I'm Shaun Ivory. I make music. I'm all right at it. But I recently released a single called "Hold Me Harder" today. I'm assuming some of the questions are going to be related to that, some might not. Um, Either way, if you like pop music or just like any type of like, indie, like somewhat experimental music, come my way, give my music a listen. And if you like it, that'd be great. I'd love for you to, hang out, stick around the community. And I love interacting with people, so feel free to reach out to me. It's no big deal at all. But yeah,
Easy, well and
I don't
done.
know if you need me to extend my intro.
Oh, I mean, you don't need to, because I think some of these questions I'm going to ask you, you will have to dig deep. I just remembered I have to find out what we're going to color. I keep forgetting to do that.
Nah, honestly, like the one that you sent me as an example, like as far as like vibe goes, like that, I feel like that's a good vibe.
Okay.
Just like
Yeah, yeah.
it's getting warmer over here in the East Coast. It,
Uh-huh.
it went back to cold, but hopefully it gets warmer again soon.
It's way hot over here in Cali. It's like 90 degrees and it's only March. Like it's getting hot fast over here.
Fuck, bro.
The
Yeah,
summer is literally like
I low key.
within us.
So I got rid of like a bunch of my shorts, and that's just because there was like issues with it, so I had to get rid of them. But damn, I need to like restock because I don't think I'll like survive over there in like pants if I ever like go and vacation there.
So
Oh,
yeah, there's a good variety of stuff.
oh.
Don't ask why I put adult drawing pages. I want to make sure it's like too challenging. Because if I draw a cartoon, it's just gonna be like some jolly. I want something that's like cozy, but also like a grown ass man could color. You know what I'm saying?
Adult drawing pages is so cool. Are you sure like some TOS bullshit might not pop up
No,
by accident?
dude, while you were talking, I did a fat scroll like off screen, so we're good. We should be good. I scrolled pretty deep.
Okay. What vibes you looking for?
You know what? I kind of like this. This one just caught my eye. Sushi.
Yeah, oh my god. Play Sushi Day in the background.
Playing Sushi Day in the background. We could go with the sushi, reference a Sushi Date.
Honestly, I'm so down. Let's do it.
Yeah, so
All right.
we're just gonna color and we're just gonna talk as we go with it,
Alright.
So
All right, man.
I'm gonna throw you some questions and I'm gonna throw you some
God.
some interesting type of questions as we
Okay.
go. So first question, we're gonna make it simple, pretty easy, just to warm you up, warm up the conversation. My first question, how did you get your start into making music? Start off with that.
Ooh, how did I get my start? I feel like this is like very, very typical Filipino, but
Okay.
it was mainly my family, like some people who aren't Filipino know just to preference it a little bit. Typically at Filipino parties, you or sorry, they will host like a little karaoke like session almost. Like almost every Filipino family I knew had a karaoke machine
Yep.
in their household, And it still applies to this day. And it's fun, just to like sing even if you're not good, it's just a vibe to do it. So I've always been exposed to music and that being said, like even when we didn't have a karaoke machine, a lot of my uncles and aunts, we call them titos and titas, uh, they play instruments, mainly titos though, to be fair, which are my uncles. Um, they're the ones who mainly play instruments. And of course, the main instrument for, I don't know if it's for Filipinos or just my family specifically, but it was guitar. It was,
Mm.
of course, the acoustic guitar.
Yep.
And although they don't know like anything like super super crazy, they knew the basics. They knew how to do chords as long as they like have the letters in front of them. They can play it, and that's pretty much like where I'm at currently. But I'm a little bit like further in. And that's how I got started as far as like music goes. In terms of like wanting to create my own music, for a very long times it was just covers, and I think that's where most people start. It's just like singing songs that they
Yep,
like
the
and stuff like
covers.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah, just making things, and then like just wanting to do like sing things that they enjoy listening to, right? Not necessarily like create. You don't have to create immediately. Um, and that was the case for me until I did I did something as a favor for my sister, and I actually don't think I may have told you this, MJ, but I actually don't know. Where we did a fundraiser for pancreatic cancer with my sister's like group of friends, and they needed a guitarist because their guitarist bailed at the time. And I was like maybe like 14, 13 at the time, and my sister was like to her group of musicians, she was like, "Oh, my brother plays guitar." And they were like, "Really?" And like, "Yeah." So they came to our house one day and they're like, "Hey, so this is the song. Um, can you play it?" I was like, "Sure." I listened to it a little bit. I figured it out by ear because I didn't really know much, or I didn't know any other way to do it besides just listening to it and like slowly figuring it out. And then when I figured it out, they were like, "Whoa!" And then I created like a little riff, but not really. It was kind of bad because I didn't, you know, I I don't really know how to play guitar like that, if I'm being honest. Especially since I was 14. And they were like, "Yeah, no, this is good." Yeah, we got into like they rented a studio and they recorded a professional
Oh, nice.
uh version of it so that it could be put onto CDs and things like that.
Okay.
And I don't know actually how much money we ended up raising as like a whole, but that exposure to the whole like process of everything, and just like hearing the vocalists record themselves and like, you know, do something for like a good cause made me want to start pursuing music on I guess a production level.
Mm.
Um so that's like where it like kind of started, and whereas like I kind of want to do music like more seriously, or like I want to learn more about it. Like I feel like there's more to it than just learning guitar and singing, because it was just a cool skill to have at the time, but I wasn't like really wanting to be like my own artist or like anything. And being my own artist is like a whole different adventure in itself, really. uh so like everybody, I started with production and stuff like that, and it starts with like covers. So my cousin, who is also in Cali actually, um don't ask me where, I forget. um but he showed me a software called Logic Pro, and he was like, "Yeah, this is where I create all my stuff here." And I started fiddling with it, and I would make like a bunch of covers. And at that time, dang, I might age check myself here, but like there's these guys called William Singe and Alex Iono,
Oh
and they were
man.
they were the kings
Oh,
of YouTube
those were the
covers.
key. Those were the cover kings. Like no one can like annihilate covers except them. They actually,
Eh,
you know, I don't know if they were the ones that started, but they definitely like popularized the trend of making covers.
Yeah,
Damn.
covers, mashups, like all that.
Mashups.
Like
Yeah, I
they were
agree.
like on that, and I was like, "Wow, this is sick." So I started making covers of my own. You can actually find a couple of them on my old YouTube channel. It's kind of like embarrassing now to
Oh,
think about
okay.
it, but um, yeah, no, it was that. And then eventually I was like, I want to start making my own music. And around the end of high school to like college, I suddenly kind of got this itch that I was like, I want to start creating music, like
Mm.
something like more meaningful, something more like just different as a whole. So you know, I created a bunch of singles, and from there, they weren't like the greatest thing ever, but
It was a
they were
start.
still very, it was very raw in the sense that it was like a simpler time, and it was like a lot easier to just like, not think about the numbers and things like that.
Mm.
You know, uh, this is a whole different thing, but like, now it seems like it's harder and harder to forget about that. Like, hey, we started this as like a passion, and even though we're trying to pursue this like seriously, it's like, damn, like we try our hardest not to lose that sense of like how we started. A little backstory, a little
Oh,
lore drop.
yeah, that's interesting. So you said that you were 14 when you like you did that event for your sister, right? Was that how old you
Yeah,
were when
yeah.
you
So it was
went to
like a
it?
group for it was like a group formed of like, I guess, like artists that I don't even know how she found them or like how she met them, if I'm being completely honest. But they just showed up to the house, and my sister, before they came downstairs to like our living space at the time, that is now my grandmother's room that we changed.
Mm.
Uh, she was like, "Okay, here's the deal. These are my friends. They're coming here because I told them you're a guitarist. Can you just listen to the song and see if you can figure it out?" And then I was like, "Yeah, sure." I figured it out, and then they came by and I showed them. I was like, "Hey, this is this," um, and they're like, "Yeah, that's sick." I was like, "Can you be our guitarist?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then from there, I started just like playing guitars specifically, and then I wanted to become a guitarist, but then I eventually was like, I kind of want to just be more than a guitarist. I want to be different. I want to be like my own artist. So then I started recording my own stuff.
Who taught you how to play guitar? Did you say that it was your uncle, or did you learn on
So
your
it was
own?
it was I guess my dad.
Yeah.
The way I learned is I just learned the chord shapes themselves, and eventually I just memorized it.
Okay.
Even to this day, I could read music, but like it would take me a very long time to translate it into like actual guitar chords and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So most of the time, I either play on tabs or I like play by ear, and I'll like figure it out from there. It's a very slow process, but I've been learning more and more too, especially since I've been meeting more like music people, I guess, or people in the scene. And I just been like kind of picking up things just because like they're naturally better than me at like these types of things. So I'll pick up certain things and I'll implement them in my own music, and it just makes me grow as an artist. So it's always fun to just interact with other people in the scene.
It's cool when you surround yourself with people based on like your hobbies and interests, and it's also like a huge motivational boost too. You made a lot of songs, through your time. What is
Mhm.
one song that you've made that means the most to you?
Ooh.
I know you make a lot of songs.
Honestly, they all have like a special place in my heart, really. I'd say I really love the writing in my recent one, Hold Me Harder, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Like I really love a lot of like the aspects that I put into there. Um in terms of like songwriting, I really, really like enjoy the wordplay that I've done and like all the other stuff. In terms of production, I think O2 is probably like my favorite. It was like one of the most fun ones that I've done personally. Um, and then in terms of just like overall, I would say like maybe like All I Am, because that came at a time in my life
Oh yeah, that's a
where
good song. Yeah.
it was a very hard time, and it was like me trying to come to terms with the fact um that like this, like where I'm at in life right now is probably all I'm worth, and it's like, will I be content with that? And it's like, oh, I realized I never really gave this music thing a try, which kind of like brought back my resurgence of me making music again. um, and like actually looking out to like find people that could actually make like make it a reality in a way. Um, but yeah, no, honestly, it's like a toss up between those three. I think overall, probably all I am. It's kind of a cop out considering that it was like my comeback song in a way because I haven't posted music for like a year or two. And then it like also did like pretty well. I got a lot of good reactions out of it, like
Yeah.
with Aston and like Nistopia. Devon Terrell like liked it too.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Sorry to cut you off. Do you actually wanna talk about that? How you got your song played by you said it was Ashton and Devon Terrell? Because those are some big names.
yeah, I mean, uh, funnily enough, the Aston one was I believe you sent it to me, and you were like, "Yo, you should probably do this. See what happens."
Yeah, yeah.
And Aston was just doing like a music stream, randomly, like a music review stream randomly, and I was like, "Oh shit! Like maybe I should like attend this." So I attended it, and pretty much everybody's song got played, but then my song came up, and that reaction came from a place of like most of his viewers, if not all, or like basically are or like the ones that made music at least were R&B heavy, you know, very very like like my boy Rodney Tristan, he makes like some pretty like modern R&B stuff, and it stems from a place of like them being fans of the R&B genre as well, and they were really good too. Like don't get me wrong, like he had compliments, but I believe his reaction kind of just came about from the fact that it just wasn't R&B. Like he expected an R&B song, and what came out was like this pop rock song
Mhm.
almost, mainly leaning more toward the rock side of things in that song specifically. And it was kind of like a song that I wrote where it was like I never really made like a rock song prior to that. But I really, really wanted to make like a rock based track, and that was like what inspired it. When I went to my producer, uh and like sang him the song, I pretty much had an idea of what I wanted production wise, and he understood me as soon as I like explained what I wanted. And it was like one of the only songs or one of the first songs that I like really had like an idea. It's just I couldn't execute it myself, so I needed to get help. Um, outside like my expertise, and he fucking killed it. Like we were just rolling. We bounced off ideas with each other, and honestly, every studio session is a great session and continues to be a great studio session. And we honestly make songs that I don't think I would have ever made if I never met the guy. So
Shout out Baby Blue, man.
yeah, man, shout out Baby Blue.
Shout out Baby Blue. I know you can agree with me on this one. Like when you make a song, you just have the tendency of like wanting to compare it with like all the competitive songs that you listen to on Spotify, and you wish like, man, I wish my song could hit like that, or it was a lot more fuller, or it has a better type of like a better punch to how I want the vocals to be, or the lyrics, their lyricism, or the topic. Yeah, like when you made that big leap working with Baby Blue, and when you improving on your songwriting, yeah, your music has gotten so much more fuller. It's very very similar to all the great songs out there. That's how you know like your music is like fitting in with like everything's going around, instead of like you know how a lot of songs for beginning artists are usually start in the bedroom and like only stay in the bedroom. But I know you wanted to take
Right.
beyond as you went further with your career.
No, yeah, for sure. I think one thing that held me back mainly was not necessarily like the songwriting or like the although I will say like my songwriting is still growing. I'm not saying like I'm there yet, but in general, like I think the main thing that held me back was just like being limited in my own knowledge of production,
Mm-hmm.
and having somebody who knows what they're doing that works super super quick, in which we can bounce off ideas, and like he understands me on like a very fundamental level. And I think that also stems from like a lot of music that he's heard of already, and that we both like very much enjoy, and that we could like pretty much, hey, like this is like kind of what I'm going for, but
Yeah.
like how do we make this different? And it's like a bunch of brainstorming, and it's a great vibe, you know, like I know you and me, we did like a Discord session for Sushi Date, and that was great. Don't get me wrong, but like a live, like in person, like
Much
making
different.
music
Much
together,
more different.
much different, so
I
much more
agree.
fun. Love the environment. And like I think about it every day, and it's like, damn, if this was like my full time where I could just come to the studio, make music, and just like, you know, bounce ideas off of other like very talented people, and like just create something like, you know, special. I would love that, you know. Um,
Agreed.
I do very much like, you know, or initially I had like somewhat of imposter syndrome, like, oh, yo, I don't know if I can hang. But like as I'm slowly like interacting with my producer, I feel like more and more confident every day, and like I I'm slowly like learning things too that I probably would have never learned on my own, if I'm being honest. Like no YouTube. There are some things that I learned over there that no YouTube video could probably teach
Mm,
me.
yeah.
Um and it's so crazy to see, and it's like so crazy to get that experience. And like of course like whatever I do retain and whatever I do understand, I would, you know, I share it with you. I share it with any of my other music friends that like might need help. Of course, I'm not the best answer in general for that, but just like being able to like somewhat understand certain things like helps me, and also like makes future songs easier, because when I understand things more
It
often and
gets
I
more
understand
easier the
the
next
process,
time, yeah, you create something
right,
new. Exactly.
I can like start to explain things like way easier, and I know the terminology. I know like the sound I'm looking for, and like maybe it's like, oh, I like I need you to EQ it this way, and then, like, can you put some drive on it, maybe
Mhm.
like put some distortion. And then, you know, that's kind of like how O2 was, you know, we were like, yeah, I want to start with like some math rock type of riff. And then I was like, oh, put some distortion on my voice, maybe let's add this rap vocal in the background that nobody could like barely hear, but it actually has lyrics and like sustenance to it. And it's like, you know, it's like things like that where it's like I know people like will barely hear this or won't hear it, but it's like the little details
It's
that
the
I
little
add
things,
that like,
yeah. Like no
you
one
know,
hears it but you and whoever was involved, like in that. I can relate on that. You know, like we have the most pickiest ears as a musician, producer, engineer. Like our ears are very talented on what we can hear,
right.
whether if it's good or bad.
Yeah, no, but honestly, in general, whole environment is fun. You know, I can't praise enough fucking baby boy Blue over
Boy Blue.
here in the East Coast. You know, he's helped me level up my game, and so many other artists too that go to him. You know, I'm obviously not the only one. But yeah, no, honestly, like my experience is so good with him that I'm scared to go to like other producers sometimes, because it's like I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
if this
yeah.
is the same or if he's just like special, you know, like
Yeah,
he's just that
it's like
guy.
once you find the one, it's like you don't want to, leave them.
Yeah, but I do
Yeah,
of course want to work with other people.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, so you know, and like, you know, having multiple producers on one song is not, you know, necessarily out of the ordinary either. So if anything, I could always like go back to him and be like, hey, like, what do you think about this, and like etc. And then, you know, he's been helping artists film content too, so like he's doing his own thing, and it's doing great. You know, I love him for that. Um, but yeah, we're cooking up some stuff. I'm like super super excited to do a bunch of stuff in the future and just like continue grinding. And who knows, like I'll probably keep doing this until I feel as though like I've done what I've wanted to
Mhm.
do. Um, Not necessarily like, you know, I tell myself numbers don't matter, but like I said, it's really hard to like not care too much. So I'm at the point where I'm like, I just want to make stuff until I'm like satisfied with what I've made. And I'm like, okay, like I don't think I have anything else in the tank to like express. So, or like try to want to improve on rather. So yeah, I mean, slowly but surely, but it's been a good time. I've been enjoying myself. You know, you've heard things I've been working on, of course, and I've heard things that you've been working on. So it's always a good time just collabing and
Yeah, I agree.
getting
Like,
to
uh, yeah, like when you surround yourself with someone that knows so much more better at your craft, it's like it can be intimidating at the first time, but like when you surround your around those type of people who are so much better at what you do, like it just does nothing but just motivates you a bunch, and you just learn a lot, you know, because you know, for me, like I used to like I would always watch YouTube tutorials and stuff, and you know, I'll watch and like through my years of learning music production and songwriting and vocal tracking and plugins and stuff, we all expect that we're all know it all, but that's not honestly true. Like I think like even if you're the smartest person in the room, like there's always going to be something very valuable when there's someone much more better at it that you can get and you can learn, you
Oh,
know.
for sure, yeah.
So my next question I want to ask, I think you already dabbled a little bit with it, but like what inspires you? And if there's any, I'm pretty sure there's someone or others that influence you on how you shape your sound. Like what's your inspiration, and like what are some good references and good people that you look up to help create, the Shaun Ivory sound.
Right, yeah. I mean, I think a very obvious one is like Keshi, of course. In terms, I think he changed. He's definitely one of the ones that when I first listened to him and I first found him, like way back when, it's gonna sound like a fucking, oh my god, I'm gonna sound
Hey, you're not
like
alone, bro.
a, like an elitist, like but like I found him like fairly early, and I only found him because my friend recommended me. He was like, "Yo, I think you should cover this song. Like, I think you would sound sick." And I remember covering it, and I remember actually at the time because he was so small, he actually saw my cover, and he liked it. He like
Hell
posted it
yeah.
on his story and stuff like that. So it was super cool, super dope. Made me a fan for life for sure. Um, but I basically like he just changed the way of like how I viewed music because my view on music prior to that was very like whatever was on the radio. Yeah, I
Mm.
wasn't like super into like the indie or like ground or underground scene of like any other genre in general. And it was like kind of eye opening to see that like oh like there's music that is like crazy. And then, of course, like the Jojis, the new guys now, like June, Bixby, all of them, Luke Chang,
Mm.
uh, you know, Jesse Barea, he has a lot of influence in like production of like these new guys too.
And he's been there in the
Um,
game like a long time ago. Jesse Barrera, like he's been in the game
yeah,
way long. Back when
yeah,
Asians took over YouTube, the golden era,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And then
2012, man.
also like obviously speaking of those guys, the OG YouTube guys, of course,
Yeah.
like I like to think my style is a mix of all though like everything that I've heard in life is like just me like whatever I like, so whatever style that I vibe with at the time that I can just like get behind. I think it's like an amalgamation of all of them. I do think my singing or like the way I perform melodies is very Keshi-esque mixed with like I want to say love, like I think
Oh,
love had
I
a pretty
I
big
hear that.
impact
Yeah,
on me.
I could definitely hear the
Um,
influence from Love. I agree.
Paris in the Rain, like old, like very 2016 love,
Yeah.
or like OG love with I Like Me Better and like all the other stuff. It took me a bit to like I don't even know if I would even consider what I have my own sound really. Like if people heard my music and were like, "Oh yeah, that's clearly Shaun Ivory and that's not this person or whatever." But either way, like I enjoy the music I'm making now, and honestly, those people influenced me. Of course, before those guys, it was the classics, like not classics, but like the typical people, which would be like Ed Sheeran, like Bruno Mars,
Mm.
Michael Jackson, of course, like very heavy R&B stuff like Neo and like Usher at the time, and like everything that I just basically grew up on. Um, and like you could kind of hear that in like my very first song. It was very, very R&B. And then I just like, I think it was that song specifically that I made with Guac. Shout out Guac.
Shout out Guac.
It was one of our homies.
Sorry for cutting you out real quick. He
Um,
actually commented on like an old like a post of mine, and I don't know why. When he commented on like one of my Instagram posts, I was like, damn, I miss Guac. You know, like I miss when
dude,
Guac was in the production. So I don't know if Guac will ever watch this, but hey, Guac, just know that me and Shaun still think about you, man. And you know, we're not applying pressure, but like, dude, we would love to work with you again if you
I'm
ever want
applying
to come
pressure.
back.
Fuck it, come back, bro.
I mean, he said it. He said it.
Fuck out of here, come back, bro.
He said it, man.
No, in all seriousness, that song really like I think that was like a perspective shift on like music production and like the kind of music that I can
What
make.
song are you talking about? Say the.
It started with Back to You.
Oh,
actually.
that was peak, bro. That was like our prime.
Specifically Back to
That was
You.
like
Yeah, that was like a
2019, 2020, I think.
yeah. So it started with that and then I wrote This For You, which like didn't blow up, but like it has like a lot of streams for whatever reason. I genuinely don't know where it came from. Like I get that it's been years, but like for some reason it has like I think it has like 8K on it or something like that, which is like kind of
Hell yeah,
crazy
man.
to think about.
Let's go.
But you know, it's like I feel like there's been moments in my life where I've slowly like just like my eye has been open, my third eye has been open multiple times where like somebody will just like give me a new perspective, and that's what happened with like All I Am and like all this other stuff. So honestly, I'm like kind of just waiting in a way till uh it happens again, or like but I just gonna keep creating music until then.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean it's really been fun. Like I personally have like I personally have no complaints about where I am currently. But music is it's hard, you know. It's not easy.
It's yeah, I agree. Music is not an easy thing to learn. People think that you could just like open up like BandLab and it cook up something right away, but like there's steps to it. There's steps to it and a lot of sacrifice if you want to go further and further with making music. Let's take it back. So before your focus was on music, correct me if I'm wrong. You know, you used to be, you know, a pro gamer around there. And and you know, you also did some streaming, right? So yeah, I wanted to take it back. You thought we were only just talking about music here? Come on, Sean. There's
Oh,
there's obviously another side of you that we want to know. So yeah, so you know, you used to be, in the pro gaming, era and streaming. So I wanna, go in depth with it and say like what was that chapter like? And at what point did you start to like transition from being a pro gamer slash streamer into musician? You know?
I transitioned because too many people are good.
You
Too
gotta
many people are
you
better
gotta
than you,
elaborate
you know?
more with that. Yeah, so talk to me
No,
about your journey from streaming, gaming, into the music. You know, let's go back. Let's take him back then with it.
man, oh my gosh. Now I gotta think.
So yeah, I told you I was gonna
So
pick with your
like
brain.
so the thing is where so gaming has always been a part of my life. It's always been like a side thing, and I actually just like played it for fun until one game in particular came out,
Uh,
and it goes by the name of Destiny, which is Destiny 1 nowadays, but back then it was like its only title, so it was just Destiny. Um and that is when I went from a casual gamer to someone who started to become good at games.
mm,
And basically like the pro scene in Destiny was very community based, and I was like still like in middle school, like going into high school at the time. But like so like seventh, eighth grade basically, at the time of when I was playing this, I think at least. And I was like pretty good to the point where people would message me and ask me to run. They called it trials, which is like this event to where you could get good loot and stuff like that. And it was like it was like the most competitive event like whenever it did drop. Um, it was almost like a ranked in a way, but not really. Um, and like people would ask to play because I'd play Rumble, which is like free for all, and I'd go like I think the cap was like 30 at the time, and I go like 30-2 or like 30-5 or something like that. Like I was just farming people,
Numbers that I'll
and it
never
was
hit.
like I'm sorry.
I was gonna say numbers that I don't think I'll ever hit.
Yeah, it was no, like honestly, I don't think I can hit that nowadays. Like it was insane. And I was like really, really good for whatever reason. Like I genuinely don't know why to this day I was like good at Destiny for an odd reason. But anyway, back to that. The pro scene in there, if there was any at all, is like basically like a community based scene. So like I wasn't really pro there, but I was like really, really good, and I would run it with a bunch of people, and I'd have a good time. And it was always older people, like way older than me. Like I think I was in middle school at the time, so it was like people like in high school, like maybe going into college or like just high school, because the game is it's rated M. So, but like we had our ways back then. Um,
H check.
so so it was yeah, I mean, like I started playing with them, and even though I was like a little squeaker kid, like they still play with me. So shout out to them. Um, I was just really good at games. That was also at the time where everybody was like kind of bad at games, to be honest, because like it wasn't as popular. Um, so that's where I started, and then Fortnite came out.
Mm.
So I wasn't really pro, to be honest, because there's no like actual pro scene. Well, Fortnite I loved.
Well,
I
in my
started
eyes, you
grinding
were a
it.
bro. In my eyes.
uh Honestly, I wish I was, but in the early stages I got like pretty good at Fortnite. And then I switched to like PC, and then I started getting really, really good at building and stuff like
Oh yeah,
that.
you started on
And
controller. Yeah.
yeah, I did
eh,
start on controller for like the
You
first couple of seasons,
you
and then I
did.
switched over
You were
to
a roller.
mouse and keyboard because I ran into this one kid that was like fucking insane, and I would just get rolled every time. And this kid was like 12, and I was like already in high school. And I was like, wow, this kid's nuts, and I was just getting absolutely like washed every single fight that we took, like in the creative mode. So I was like, okay, like I switched to mouse and keyboard, and I was asking him like, oh, what do you do, this and that, and then he's like, okay. Eventually, I got good, and then eventually, I did start like we started trading, and I started beating him and stuff like that, and then eventually it got to the point where like I started actually like placing well and like winning a lot of games, like on my own, like a solo, and I started joining like discords and stuff like that, and I started doing scrims, and I got high enough to where I could do like the pro scrims and stuff like that. So this was at the time where it was like Tifu, Ninja, Myth, the
Mm.
Liquid guys,
The
72 hours and stuff like that,
OGs, the OG
Hamlins and
Fortnites.
stuff like
Oh
that.
my god.
I would not like do crazy good because they're like levels, but I was still there. So then where I made my money and where I guess you could call me somewhat semi-pro was I used to do like these wagers here and there. They would be small ones, and then I would just get like money from that, and I was better than the above average person. But every once in a while, I'd run into a person that like actually like knew what they were doing or was just like really good. Um, but like my win rate was like pretty high. So even like all those those clip farmers or whatever, like those montages that you used to see of Fortnite and people just like doing like 1v1 battles and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they do these crazy edits or whatever. I would 1v1 them, and they would try to do all this crazy stuff, and I just kill them.
Mm.
And so obviously those don't get posted, right? Like
Yep.
that's which is fine. Like that's like you know you want to post clips. You're not gonna try to post the montage of you dying. Um, but yeah, I mean, I would like just do a bunch of 1v1s and I just win. And then that would be like the extent of my earnings, I guess you could call them. Um but yeah, I mean, it was fun. It was a long while. I eventually I got tired because it was very, very grindy. It was very exhausting, especially since I had school I had college still.
It
And I was
changes
just
as you
like,
go, and you have to try to catch up to it.
yeah, and I was just like, I don't know if this is worth it anymore. So eventually I just was just like, you know what? I'm I'm just gonna play for fun and like just chill. Like
Casual.
there's no point in
Mhm.
doing this anymore. So that's what I did. I ended up just turning into a casual player. Now I just play games for fun, but I still like being competitive. Don't get me wrong, I'm still very competitive. Um uh but that's like the end of my shooters, like my FPS pro career, I guess you could call it. I didn't really go pro. But then as of recent, I had a competitive itch again, and I think this is where you wanted me to lead into.
I have another question for that,
Um
but yeah, go ahead. You go
oh, do
ahead.
you want me to just wait for it
You
then?
can go for it. I don't mind. Yeah. Yeah.
Um so I had another competitive itch where I was like, I want to like play something. So I decided to pick up Pokemon. And the intention wasn't to go competitive initially. The intention initially was to just play and then play ranked and then reach the highest rank. And I did. And I reached the highest rank. It was fun. I enjoyed my time there. And then something weird happened where I started in the ranked ladder. When you get to the highest rank, they have like numbers, so like 10,000, etc. There was one time where I hit top 10, and I was like, "Whoa,
Oh shit.
what is happening?" I was like, granted, it was like really early in the season and stuff like that, and it's really hard for me to keep that. But even then, I would end like 5,000 or something like that. Like it wasn't like terrible, It wasn't like super super amazing, but it wasn't like terrible either. So I was like, wait, maybe I could do this. So then I started competing and like started to uh started to like take it somewhat seriously. So I started going to like these tournaments, which were actually like by itself like super super fun like experience. If you're a Pokemon fan, I highly suggest going to like a regional or like an international or like any of the high level events. Like even if you don't compete or if you compete for fun, like it's still cool. You could earn prizes and shit like that. Like it was a really really dope experience, and I got to explore like areas that I otherwise wouldn't like visit. Like Portland, I probably wouldn't have went to. New Orleans, like I went to that for the IC.
Oh really? You
Um, you
you actually
know,
traveled around to do to do
yeah,
play
so I
Pokemon.
traveled to do tournaments and I tried to like
That's sick.
be able to qualify for worlds, but I ended up not doing it. But I did actually place well, especially on the International Cup. I did like a tournament where it was like 16,000 people or 16,000 players for the video game specifically. The trading card was like way bigger, but I did the video game, and out of the 16,000 people, I was able to place 90th, which isn't that bad. It's
Hmm.
pretty decent. Um, and I was like, wow, for my first season, like competing, this wasn't bad. Like this wasn't a bad placing. So, and I honestly think I could have won, like maybe not the whole thing, but like I could have placed like much higher and like maybe even top cut to like top 16. It's just that I didn't realize, I guess, or I wasn't really prepared of like how much of a mental endurance it is, because you basically play like 13 games in one day. Like this is day 1, and you have to get past day 1, and you can't go past 2 losses. So you have to do X2. We call it X because like whatever wins, X2 or better. So as soon as you get that third loss, you're out and you can't qualify for day 2. So I actually only got 2 losses that day, and I
Oh
was
wow.
able to qualify for day 2.
Hell yeah.
And then, but that transfers over. So if you get that third loss in day 2, you don't qualify. And I ended up getting that third loss in day 2. Um, so that was like very unfortunate.
So
But
what place
it
did you
was
finish? Do you remember what place you
uh,
finished?
yeah, 90th, 90th.
Oh, 90th. Oh damn.
Yeah. So it wasn't bad. Like I think I was technically like one game away, I think, from top cutting, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
So I could have made top 32 or top 16 if I just won that one game. But you know, things happen.
next
I
time.
just honestly, I honestly faced like the one I lost. I faced like a really good player, and it's a very mental battle when it comes to Pokemon. And I got red like every turn, and I was like, wow, this guy just absolutely demolished me. Like I legitimately couldn't do anything. I got rolled. So I think that just also came with like the inexperience of like me doing my first season, you know. So, but it was still a really fun experience, and I kind of put a hold on it to like do music,
Mhm.
but um, I would always love to like just go back and do it again. I even talked about it with my girlfriend Emily, about like doing it again and traveling like to compete again, just because it's like, oh, it's still so much fun and I have such great memories of it. Um, but I still want to focus on the music thing and
Right.
grind that for a little bit more. So maybe I'll go back to it next year. But it was a cool little side quest to do. I also thought it would be really funny if I ended up placing really well or did like, or just won the whole thing. And I'm like, yeah, this is just like kind of my side quest, and I'm really like a
Dude, that would be
musician.
a huge flex. Like, I only came here just because it was a side mission I just had to pick up on, just for an extra boost of XP. I make music, but yeah, this was just nothing, and end up winning the whole entire
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, no. So I thought it would be really funny.
That'd be
Sometimes,
crazy.
like, I honestly did it because I thought it would just be funny. Like, most things I do is because I'm like, hey, this is kind of funny. Like, if this happens, so let me just
Yeah,
give it a shot.
yeah. Like, just
So
don't take it too
yeah,
serious. Just have fun with it.
yeah. So it was a great experience, and it's like it's one of those things where it's like Pokemon is a game where it's like it's just you and the guy,
Hmm.
right? And it's just like it's a mental battle, you know. Um, Sometimes you get unlucky and the team just hard counters you and you can't really do anything, so you just gotta play your best. But um, you know, there's always a chance. So it's fun. It's kind of like in a way, it's like a fighting game, but not really. It's like it's just you versus one other guy, and it's a very mental heavy battle, and you just gotta, you gotta like be able to outsmart each other and like find the winning play. But yeah, honestly, if you collect Pokemon cards or just just like are just a Pokemon fan in general, go to one of the events. Trust me, it's really fun. I don't I met a bunch of cool people. The community's super super nice. Like the real Pokemon fans are like super super nice. And it's I uh I do want to go back at some point. So, probably when the new Pokemon drops, like the champions that they announced recently. So maybe I'll head back then, but um yeah, I gotta brush off the dust. How you doing
Um,
on your drawing?
I was gonna ask, like, if we get an update on our colorings right now. I mean, I'm doing pretty decent. I'll be honest.
I'm pretty far in.
I don't know what my color choices are like. I'm just kind of going as I'm flowing. How about you?
I'm pretty good. I finished like the
What do you?
wood portion of the stands. I finished
Oh,
like a
that's what
lot
I'm
of the
doing right
sushi.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, I finished a lot of the sushi. I'm painting. I'm coloring the cat sign right now.
Yeah, I haven't gone to that. I'm just doing like the wood, like poles and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
I did all the sushi, I did all the wood. I'm doing the cat signs right now. Uh, like I'm low key almost done.
okay.
So,
That's
but I
fine.
know you
Yeah.
stopped coloring for a bit when
Yeah.
the thing happened. So I have
Um,
a little bit of a head start.
I have a question. What is this? What is this? Ikura? Like on the sign? Like there's like little balls that are sitting on like a bowl or something. What is that? Do you know what that is?
Hmm.
I don't even know what color
Yeah,
how
it's
to
like
color
it's
that.
like it's like the
What
it's
is
like the
it?
fish eggs.
Oh, like fish eggs. Like fish eggs are like what
Hmm.
color are they?
It's like you ever seen Finding Nemo?
Yeah, like transparent orange kind of thing, or like
Yeah, like
like
the
red.
transparent orange. Yeah, I
Yeah,
made them
yeah,
like a
yeah.
reddish orange. Yeah.
Okay, I assumed they were like fish eggs or like beans or something. So I was like,
Yeah,
I'll,
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
color
They're
this
like
after.
little, like I don't know if you've ever had it, but
I don't think
it's
so.
just like
No,
seaweed and rice, and it's like the fish eggs, and they kind of like pop in your mouth, and it's like liquid inside.
kind of like
It's really,
boba.
yeah, yeah, almost actually, yeah.
It's
It's
kind
like
of like
very
boba.
salty boba.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I'm only just about like the sushi rolls. Like, I'm a pretty simple guy. I'm just a California sushi, dragon roll. I like crunchy sushi. How about you? What's like your sushi order you always
I
like to
do
go with?
I do like the very basic rolls and stuff like that, like either nigiri or just
Oh
like
yeah,
spicy salmon,
that's
spicy tuna
good.
is like
I love
it's
salmon.
like my favorite.
Yeah.
But my girlfriend, she's more into like the specialty rolls, which I do like too, and some of them are super super good.
Mm.
Um, they're obviously super Americanized, but it's like they kind of have like their own little they have their own little like charm to it,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And it's like as long as you don't treat it as like, oh, like if you're not like a sushi like extremist or anything like that, and you could enjoy it for what it is, which is like an amalgamation of like different cultures like into this very Japanese food. Like some are really really good. Like at first I didn't like the ones with like cream cheese in it, but like my girl,
Oh
like
yeah,
she
same.
loves cream
I
cheese.
don't like cream
But
cheese. Yeah.
like the more that I ate it, the more like I began to like kind of appreciate it. And like there's these things called, I think they're lox bagels or lux bagels or something like that,
Uh.
which is very similar in concept. And I started kind of getting used to it, and like I kind of started, liking it because I do like cream cheese on like bagels. So, but it was just odd having it with rice at first. But nowadays, like I don't mind it as much, and I kind of like do like it. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or if it's like my taste buds are changing. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's
Yeah.
it's alright.
The last time that I was like, I'm gonna be experimental and just try everything. I remember I was eating sushi with my family, and we decided to order like a sushi boat, and it had like almost everything on the menu. Right? It was good up until like
Mhm.
the fifth like roll that I took, and then from there like my stomach was just not happy with me. It was good, but once I don't know what the fifth roll was. Like I was trying a bunch of random like, shit for sushi, but my stomach was like, okay, what are you putting like inside your stomach? It's not. I'm not liking it.
That's how I get with buffet sushi.
Oh my god, yeah, dude, buffet sushi is a no for me. Yeah, I don't know. No disrespect to those that work at a buffet or owns a buffet, but like at least try to do a little bit more better. Do a little bit more.
I mean,
You can't.
listen, it's serviceable. That's where I started, and then slowly went up into like actual sushi. But now my stomach can't take. I be going to buffets not often, but like every now and then, and it's like, damn, this is where I started. Got to go my roots, and now I can't hang. You know,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, man.
but
Awesome.
but
Okay.
yeah, no, I mean it's you know sushi is a wonderful wonderful thing, and it,
Okay.
it it can be get hard to used to, especially if you're not Asian, though, I will say.
Yeah. Let's do this one gotta go. Let's do this one gotta. Now that we got
All
to,
right, go for it.
we got a little bit of background of your music, and we're still gonna go more into the music part, and we got to know
Right.
more about, what you do besides music, and that's through gaming and Pokemon and stuff. So
I know, right?
we're gonna do a one gotta go. All right, one gotta go. I'll give you three choices, and two can stay, but one you have to get rid of. So I try to make these a little tricky. So we'll see based on how you answer them. Video games, guitar, and TikTok. One gotta go.
TikTok.
Okay, why you say TikTok? I think that's a pretty
Well, for
valid
one,
answer.
I
One
scroll too
gotta
much,
go.
but for two, um, like I think, and I don't know if this is completely TikTok's fault, like technically
Hey, be
speaking,
transparent. Say whatever you want.
but like I feel like the way content is made has shifted like a lot. And I don't know if it's necessarily for the better. I enjoy TikTok and I enjoy like a lot of the stuff that comes out, but I feel like there's also like a lot of slop, but I also feel like that's kind of given like on any social media platform. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the game has changed in a way that is so much different than when Instagram was like popular and like all these other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you know, to a separate point, like it has made a lot of people that I guess wouldn't otherwise have made it. It allowed them to make it. So it's good and bad, but
Yeah.
I think the one that we have nowadays is not as good
Mhm.
for reasons. I think doom scrolling is a big problem for me, so I would hope that would
Hey
go.
man, you're not alone, and that's why I wanted to add that in there because I mean, let's be honest. Even though we could be the most productive, most active, we still have a side of us that want to, just rot on our bed and just doom scroll for hours.
Oh my god. It's so
um,
bad. I'd be losing track of time. I'm like, oh god.
yeah, I get that. It's a little tough sometimes. I mean, yeah, I agree. I think TikTok, it's a great source, but it's also a bad source of finding things. That's what, like, for me, like when I took my little break away from social media, like if I wanted to like learn something or gather inspiration, before it used to be TikTok, but uh at the time I was like, I need to take a little break from TikTok, and so Pinterest was like my doom scroll alternative. And the bonus
Yeah.
behind that is that I didn't have to deal with any like brain slop or doom or any memes or anything, even though they're fun to look at. But if I'm trying to find something, like I need to learn, I'm trying to find, something I could songwrite about or make a song based on a feeling, like I'll use Pinterest and I'll find like a lot of good resources on there. Um, TikTok, there's definitely a lot of good stuff that you can be inspired off of, but like when you're in the mix, like imagine like you're going through like 5 educational TikToks and then you come across like a GTA top 5 moments, and the next thing you know, you're watching that for like hours and you're like, oh shit, what was the first memo I was supposed to do? That's TikTok, man. I
Yeah.
mean, that's how TikTok is.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
so you said TikTok's got to go, but you're gonna keep the video games and the guitar. Okay,
Yeah,
pretty
I
valid.
mean, guitar for obvious reasons.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Um, and I feel like video games for like semi-obvious reasons. Like I enjoy it. It's a good pastime.
Yeah.
I went pro in a couple of them. I have like a pretty good memory, I guess you could say, of them, or like a very good relationship with them. And I feel like it's a good pastime. Like sometimes you're just like really bored, and it's just like, what do I do? And you're like, oh, like I could just play a game for fun and just
Mm-hmm.
kill a couple hours before I have to do something like else. Or it could also help you. It could also help you like escape from reality for like just a little bit, and
Yeah.
that's all you need, you know.
I was like super
Yeah.
locked in on this coloring. Um,
Dude, I am locked.
I'm
I'm
locked in,
almost done
bro.
though.
Really, I think I'm
I'm al-
almost done too. I'm doing like the roofing. I'm like coloring them, so, and I'm
Which one?
like the roofing, like the, I don't know word, the
Oh,
term for it.
I haven't done that yet, but I've been doing everything else. I finished the sign, I finished the seats. I finished all the sushi, of
I
course.
did the lettering for the sign, but I haven't colored the actual sign yet. I'm gonna get to that after I finish the roofing. So, okay, let's talk about this, Sean. So, obviously, you and me, we've known each other for so many years. And I'm pretty sure there's some people out there that are kind of curious of like, how did you guys meet? So, I wrote this down. I know we talked about this many times, and every time I talk about it, it's something so funny to laugh at and then look back at. So, let's talk about like how we met and like how did this happen, and then what got us into wanting to collab, and then also the songs as we made, like you mentioned about Sushi Day. So let's take it back. Let's talk about how we started our bromance.
Yeah, man. Let's take it back then, man.
Yeah, let's take it back then. I'll let you speak your side, and I'll speak my side after too. I'll speak my perspective after yours. So let's give the
So this is
viewers what they want to hear. The
so I mean
truth.
this is my side of things. Uh, so this is back when me and Jay used to stream on a site called YouNow.
You know.
Oh God. And honestly, that's like where we met like a lot of people in general. Like a lot of our community comes from, to be honest. Um, and it was fun. I could just sing. Like I would do singing streams a bunch. But I think it mainly started when we did a talent show. I forget for who,
It
but
was called U Voice. It was a singing competition that our
was
friends
it you
tried.
play or was the
Yeah,
T Day?
we did
Wasn't that the one
a.
with Kyle? That might have been a different one, to be
No,
honest.
I
Or that might
remember.
have been with Ray or something.
I remember we did. Yeah, we met because of because our we were in a group chat with a bunch of other Unowers, and someone had this bright idea of like, oh, I want to make a show kind of like The Voice. So they created one on You Now, and then they call it You Voice. And then you joined the show. And I joined the show.
I mean, so we joined the show. Obviously, like it's a competition, so we're getting competitive. And I think at the time, I had blonde hair, if I'm not mistaken. And like I just wanted to like dye my hair because I never dyed my hair prior to that. And then, I, I go first, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember. Yeah,
Uh,
that part I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure I went first. And then, I sing my set, and they're like, "Wow, blah blah blah, this and this." And then there's like judges, of course, or whatever. And there's like obviously the viewers like, "Wow, this and that." And then I chill. I'm just chilling on my computer and just like on the side. And then it's like, "Oh, next is MJ." And I'm like, "Oh, cool. Who's this?" And it's this Filipino kid who's also blonde. And I'm like, "What the fuck is that? He's stealing my whole flow. Like, who is this?" And I was like, "What is going on?" I think I was on a Discord call with one of my friends too at the time. I was like, "Who is this?" He's like, "Yo, he kind of looks like you." I was like, "Don't say that."
Oh
And
my
then
god.
It was, I was a kid, so like obviously it's like, oh, why you like,
I mean,
But
we talked about the story many times, but yeah, like we did not like each other at first.
yeah, it was. I didn't know that MJ didn't like me until after we talked about it, which I thought it was so funny. But
But
yeah, no, we didn't like each other, but it was still like, I don't even know, like it was very funny. It was a very cool experience. On like a different note, yeah. So we did the competition. I think I ended up winning, right? Because I think that was the first season we did
You
it, right?
did, yeah, yeah. You end up winning the whole thing.
So I ended up winning the whole thing for I don't know why, but
That's why I hated you because you beat me.
yeah, and I just didn't like MJ because someone said he looked like me, and I just couldn't handle that. And then I was like, but yeah, no, and then I ended up winning, and then like all the contestants started like kind of like talking with each other because we were already in a group chat and stuff like that. So we'd all stop by, and then eventually I would like stop by MJ streams. Even though I was low key hate watching. I'm not gonna lie, I was hate watching
Really?
at first. Yeah, I think so. I low key don't remember because it's so long ago, but like I'm pretty sure I was hate watching. I
That's
was like,
so
hey, look at
funny.
this guy. And then like the more I watched, the more I was like, this guy's alright. This guy's alright. So I was like, yeah, like I don't know why. And then like we started interacting, and then we had the same interests, which honestly kind of didn't help the case because I'm like, damn, we might really be the same person.
Yeah, I
Like
think
I started having doubts.
that's what caused us to be like, I forgive this guy. He's like on the same level as me, even though we kind of look the same and I kind of have the similar attributes. Like, I think I know where he's coming from because I feel the same way.
It's very crazy. I don't know. It was like a very weird time, and I don't honestly remember like how we became friends in particular.
I could carry
But
off with
I
that
just
if you want me to.
yeah, go for
Uh,
it. Yeah.
I think
Yo.
something very valuable on like how we got close to each other was, you beat me on the first round of the singing thing, and then you advanced to like the finals. I think the finals like the next day or something like that. And then I think you like DM'd me on Twitter. You like DM'd me, and then you're like, "Yo, you think you could help me on what song to sing?" I think that's what happened.
Oh fuck! Wait, I think
Yeah.
wait. I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
check. I can actually check this right
You
now.
can check just to confirm.
Oh my
Something like
god!
that.
Oh my god!
Did
I
you-
found it.
you found it?
I sent you a video of me doing the cover. I was like, "Yo,
Oh,
just send the
really?
vid. Tell me when you get it." So, which means we had this conversation on a different
Oh,
thing.
okay. So something
So
might
it
have
might have
started.
been in Discord or something.
Okay.
But and then you're like,
Really?
"Yeah, I got chills. Do it." I was like, "Really, lol?" And then you're like, "Yes." It was the weekend. Think I got it covered for the weekend. Yeah.
He's yeah. We got on a call. I helped him pick a song to do, and then he ended up winning it on it. And then I think from there, that's when we started like, yo, let's make some music together.
I know,
Obviously,
right?
Sushi Date wasn't the first song we made. We tried we made it.
Yeah.
We made a couple songs, but only 2 of them came out successful.
Yeah, I mean, did we make any other than those two? I don't think so.
I remember the first song we tried to make It was like a we were trying to make it like a summertime type of song, like beach, you know, vibe.
Oh fuck yeah,
And like
yeah,
I remember you sent me like a vocal sample, and I took it and I tried to make a a beat out of it. I still have that beat,
yeah.
surprisingly. I still have
Do
that
you actually?
in my folder somewhere. But then we didn't get that to go through. We decided to scrap that idea and we started to come up with a new concept. You sent me like a guitar loop, like a guitar
Yeah,
recording,
and
and
fucking
then that's how
transparency.
we made Transparency.
Yeah, man, that was fuck. That was the good old days.
That was 2018
Transparency,
when we made
shit,
I mean, damn, that was like 8 years ago, bro.
dude. Yeah, no, that was fun though. Like that was definitely like one of those projects where it was like, you know, the skills weren't there, but like the vibes were, you know.
We were young and passionate. I think it was a cool song. Obviously, we've gotten better as we grow, and that's where Sushi Date comes in. You want to talk a little about how Sushi Date came into the picture?
Yeah, I mean, I wrote this song on stream one day because someone gave me a topic and it was obviously a joke topic of like, oh, make it about sushi. But then like my creative juices were flowing, and I was like, wait, like I think I can actually make this like somewhat of like a decent like song. Let me see if I can like write something like crazy. So then I ended up writing it on stream and I finished it like a first verse and chorus, and like people like liked it. Some of my friends would message me like, "Yo, when is that song coming out?" I was like, "Uh, uh, never maybe." And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like people like genuinely like kind of want this. So you know, I tried to finish it on multiple occasions, but I couldn't. Like I don't know why, but I couldn't just like I couldn't do it for whatever reason. Like I tried, and it just didn't work out. So eventually I got MJ, and I was like, "Yo, I don't know what to do with this song," and he was like, "I got you, fam." And yeah, that's pretty much how it went. He listened to the song. He's like, "Okay, let me see if I can do something real quick," and he did something real quick for real. And we were able to make Sushi Day because of it. So
Yeah, I remember
you
you
know,
asking me for like because I know you only just had it just a guitar in the beginning, and then you were like asking for like help for like production stuff. Um,
yeah, I didn't really know
like the
what I
direction
wanted to
we were
do.
going from it. It did take like
Um,
over a year to get it done. I remember that for sure. It did take a long time to finish that song.
you know, like it ended up coming out. It ended up being a really good song. It was a good time right after FaceTime me for you to release something, and it did decent. It didn't do bad. So I'm happy with the way it turned out too in general. Uh, like in terms of like how it sounded, and I think it was like it was like a semi upgrade, you know, from our like OG sounds. Like we spent, oh excuse me, we spent like a good amount of time in it, and I think it paid off in the end, regardless. So
Yeah, I'm definitely happy about like how it came out too. I wanted to do something very special for those that are watching, that are listening in. I thought it'd be cool if we take a quick listen at the first demo of it with you.
oh my god, you
Did,
found it! Holy
yeah,
shit!
I was gonna DM you about it actually. I was like, do you have the first demo by chance? But I was able to find it. I haven't heard it in a long minute, nor do I even remember what it sounded like. And I thought like maybe I should like play this with you, and anyone that's watching, listening, that are curious as to what Sushi Day used to sound like when we first started it, and then if you want to compare it to how it starts later on, I thought of showing this. So yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna pull it up. So we're doing something exclusive for the people who are listening right now. Y'all gonna hear the first demo of Sushi Day.
I don't even
You don't
remember
remember?
what it sounds like.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do, y'all. We're gonna listen to the first demo of Sushi Date. Just know, FYI, we've probably made like nearly maybe 15 different versions of this song. So, and we've heard it probably over a bajillion times. But if you're curious as to what it sounded like when we first created it, well, here we go. This is Sushi Date first version, first demo.
Please have your seats be patient with me while I get your drinks.
That guitar is so bassy.
If there's anything you need, please call for me. As she races by herself, there isn't nowhere else that I would be.
Wow.
You, I can't breathe.
My voice is so
'Cause
awful.
you are something.
You're not alone.
Something really special, something really pure, something I admire, something I adore. So sit with me while we eat sushi. Can you please pass me the sauce?
Oh, my breath control's awful.
I agree, wouldn't you agree? Hoping you don't see that I'm off. Long as I am with you, I don't care right now. I can't lie,
Oh my.
I thought this could be something out of a movie, and I couldn't picture this day going smoothly. Never been like this before, just us two at table 4.
Oh my god, my pronunciation is not that great.
Fidgeting with chopsticks, thinking what could go wrong. Has
Oh, you
it
didn't add
been
that
a
part yet?
minute?
No, I didn't.
Taking too long. You ask me, hey, what's your order? I stutter and I can't answer. Trying hard to remember that you're right here with me. So sit with me while we eat sushi. Can you please pass me the sauce?
Okay, falsetto.
'Cause I'm hungry, wouldn't you agree? Hoping you don't see that I'm off. As long as I am with you, I don't care right now.
That's it. That was the first demo.
Oh my god, we didn't have the bridge
No,
yet.
we didn't have the
I
bridge.
forgot.
Nothing. That's just like how it sounded.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy, crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy how it started off.
Crazy
with that.
stuff, man. Crazy stuff.
Hey man, but you know that song, that song's definitely gonna be something to remember. You know, and shout out to those that still continuously still stream Sushi Date. You know, me and Sean did talk about some things that we want to do with that song in the future, and if to be determined.
To be determined.
To be determined. But
To be determined.
Ferrari says MJ and Sean, 2 amazing singers on one live. That's a rare stream to catch. That's up Ferrari. Okay, I think it's time that we go into another One's Gotta Go. Here we go. This one's
Alright,
gonna be
let's
yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, man. Let's do into the One's Gotta Go. It's a weird one. Pizza on your head, shoes on your hands, and sunglasses on your knees. One gotta go.
I'll do pizza on my head. I feel like it's the messiest.
You get rid of pizza on your head?
Yeah, right? Like these are things that I have to do, right?
Yeah,
Or
it's like that's like you have to deal with for the rest of your life, you know? Like you have to deal
oh,
with
like the rest of my life.
Yeah, it's
Wait,
like-
but
it's kinda like
sunglasses are,
that.
optional, no?
No, like they say like on your knees. It's like it's like an accessory
Oh
that you always have to
God.
wear. That's
The-
you know.
Pizza, the same pizza on the head. Like it's the same.
I don't know. We could sure we could say that. But it has to be like on your head. Like
Well, I guess what I'm asking is because it would rot, so then I wouldn't want like a moldy, rotted pizza on my head. you know?
True.
So I feel like
Yeah.
it still justifies my answer. But no, yeah, I think knees on or sunglasses on my knees is whatever.
How about
did-
shoes
if
on
I
your
fall on my knees
hands.
ever, shoes on my hands. I mean, that would be a little weird, but I guess I could learn a handstand.
Yeah, I mean, there's a benefit of that, and I guess you get better traction. I guess you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see like a crazy downside to it at least. So I think I'll get rid of the pizza on my head, to be honest.
Interesting. Yeah, it was a weird one. I was like, I could go with like a simple one, but I was like, let me do something and try to get his brain to brain. You know,
Get my brain to brain in. Got it. Yeah.
brain start braining. Let's get back into the topic about music because I know there might be some people that are aspiring to be songwriters, musicians, producers, you know, and I think this is something that I know you and me could talk about hours on this, you know, because this is what we'd
For
like
sure,
to do.
yeah.
So, a question that is something very, very educational and important for those that want to hear is, you know, what is the process like when you want to write a song? You know, like, do you start with the words? Do you start with the chords, a melody, a song title? Like, you know, what's the process like? And like, what do you start off with?
It's kind of different almost every time, I'd say. Um, but I guess like it's one of the two where it's either you start with chords of a guitar and you're like, huh, like this is interesting. Let me see if I can write like a melody to it. Or you have like a melody of some sort with like a couple of words in your head, and maybe those words aren't the final words, but like the phonetics are there, you know.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
so for me at least, it's usually one or the other. It's either like I find the chords first and then I'm like, oh, I really like this chord progression. Let me try writing to it. Or it's like, oh, I like this melody in my head. Let me see if I could find chords to it. But I will say most of the time it's like the chords first and then everything follows right after. Um, Not to say that the other doesn't happen because it does for a couple songs. So don't get me wrong. That's just me personally though. I know a lot of people are like a bit different and they have like different takes on it and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm
Interesting.
not
So,
sure. What do you do, Jay?
you know, what? I'm kind of on the same boat as you. As of recently, I've been really dependent on the chords for sure. Before, it used to be like either a song title that I've written, like, because I would have a notes list and I would sometimes write like a bunch of words. And these words could either be used for lyrics or punchlines or even like a song title. Uh,
Mm.
and so in the past, I'll go on that notes app and I'll find like a phrase and then like I'll try to build a song around that. But as of recently, you know, I started to like get more into music theory and started to relearn my instruments. Now, like, I really depend on like finding the chords to get me in the feeling because I think that's like what it is when it comes to making music. Like, yeah, you could say you could be very descriptive, you could be very deep on how you write things, but if it doesn't have a feeling behind it, then it's just like a it's just like a you know a passage, I guess, or a paragraph. You know, I think feeling always should come first when it comes to music because you know music is you know it's rhythmic based on emotion. Yeah, I definitely would say chords is definitely like how I would start off with.
Mm.
It can vary. You know, sometimes it'll be a phrase that I discover. Sometimes it'll be a melody that was in my head. Uh, but most of the time, yeah, it's definitely the chords on how I start when it comes to you know making a song.
Yeah, man. It's the way, man. It's the meta.
Let's see. I think Ferrari said he had a question. Sean, when are you getting married? Damn. Oh, he wants to go there.
I don't know. I would like to be. There's a lot of things I would like to accomplish before then, but I mean, at
Mm,
some point I will. I don't know. I haven't really like. I know I do want to, and I know who I want it to be with, but I don't know when it will happen. Like when's the right time? Maybe I'll think that you know there really isn't the right time, which I kind of like agree there is no right time, but I would like to be in a certain financial comfortability in my life so that I don't, because I do want a family, but I don't want to start one where like irresponsibly, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of thought that's been put to it. I guess the simple answer is I don't know.
the valid answer. I mean, I think everyone you know must agree. You know, sometimes like we want to rush things because it looks good, and others, you know, especially when there's peer pressure when it comes to family sometimes or even friends. But at the end of the day, it's your
Right.
choice. It's your pace. It's your marathon. You know, don't speed run your life like that. You go however you want to go with that. So, lucky for you, you're one step ahead of me. You know, you have the one. So now it's the up to you how when you want to start that next chapter. Something that I think a lot of us can kind of relate here. You know, especially you and me. We've been making music for so many years, and you know, the more that we go, you know, the older we get, and the older we get, the
Mm.
harder we have to live. You know, because life can throw a little bit of curveballs here and there and challenge us in ways that we didn't imagine. Um, when we're young, we all have big dreams and we really believe that we're gonna make it. But in reality, we get older and life starts to hit us. Bills start coming in, jobs, responsibilities, and a lot of people slowly have to put their dreams to the side and I'm pretty sure you can relate with me on this. Uh, and so my question I wanna hear from you answer is like, how do you stay motivated to keep chasing your dreams despite on life trying to, you know, beat your ass, challenge you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not always like that, of course. And that's kind of like what All I Am was about, was me kind of thinking that I had to put it to the side in order to like live life. But then, it gets to the point where if you really, really, really do love something, you will you will always gravitate back to it. And I think that's what kind of happened to me, where I was like, I got a job. I did everything that my parents asked me to. I did the blueprint. I did everything right. So then why am I still feeling like, you know, I have some unfinished business in a way? So I would, always search, and like eventually I figured out that, oh, like I'm like this because, I still love to do music and I still feel like there's more I could do. So, I tried to ignore it for like the longest, but I just couldn't do it. So I ended up just being like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I gotta do this. So that's why I got back into music, and I realized it wasn't necessarily about making it for me. It was more so about like being able to express myself in a way that I guess other mediums or other forms of stuff that I guess other people do, like I just don't feel the same satisfaction as I do with music. So that's where I'm at currently. And I'm very happy that I got back into music and that it's still like my outlet, and that you know I'm not a fraud in the sense that I'm doing this just for um fame, or like trying to get fame. I'm doing this because like I genuinely enjoy music, and that it's like it has been my outlet and it always will be my outlet, you know, in terms of like trying to like just express myself in a way that I guess I can't just tell people regularly. I guess I stay motivated, but not really too. Like it's just something that I feel, and it's like
Oh yeah,
I
it's
can't I can't get rid of it, and it's like the
mhm,
only way I can get rid of it is just by making music. So
exactly, yeah. Um, it's just to keep doing it regardless of, oh, you're getting old, do this, do that. No, I think you should always, if you still are in love with it, regardless of what the result is going to be, that's the kind of path you want to stick with for the forever as you go. This actually led me to another question that I thought of. Let's say there's someone young out there that's like inspired off you, like, oh, I want to be like Shaun Ivory. Like, what advice would
oh
you
god.
give to someone young that wants to be like you, make music?
Just do it. Just make music you like, bro. It don't matter if people call you copy or whatever. Eventually you'll find your own sound. As long as you're always striving to be better, and this goes for anything,
Mhm.
as long as you're always striving to be a better version of you than you were like a week or two ago or something like that. Like you'll keep improving, and you'll just you'll make it, you'll be successful in your own way. you know it might not be in the way that you want, but you'll be successful in your own way, and that's like all that really matters. And in order to like find what really makes you happy, you gotta like dig deep and like really understand yourself. And sometimes it comes in different forms, and when you think you know stuff, you really don't. Like I thought I'd be okay just being content with my current job, but and like quitting music, but I couldn't let go of music, so I came back. And you'll always have those life lessons with you, and you just always gotta take it, and you always just gotta remember, like, hey, like this, life is short. Like I shouldn't have to make myself miserable, especially if I don't want to. Like I should look out for me, and like how I can like make myself happy so that the people around me can also benefit from it. Because when you're happy, other people are
Other
happy.
people around you happy.
Yeah, so just do you, man. Like, do what you enjoy. And if that's like, making music similar to X artist or painting or like doing a certain style or whatever, and like people like make fun of you or do whatever, like it don't matter, bro. Like,
Yep. No, yeah.
people will have their own opinions, but like as long as it makes you happy, who the fuck really cares?
Yeah, and then that's the world that we kind of live in. Like, and the world is really dependent on the internet. It's crazy how the internet can like even be like a different planet. And that's how big it can be. And like adding on to what you say about like do it and don't give a fuck about what other people say. You gotta have guts, and you just gotta accept that people are not gonna like everything that you do. There's always gonna be those naysayers. There's always gonna be people are pointing at you and stuff like that. And the way that I view it also is that, in response to anyone that's trying to shut your dreams down and try to, make you rage or just rage bait you, like, you know, they're watching, they're listening to you. Regardless if they're trying to hate on you and everything, they're watching, they're sitting and they're observing you. They're wasting their time to sit and type all this bullshit, to somebody they don't even know in real life. I said, okay, I'm doing this. I'm putting myself out on the platform. You're just a comment. Like, what's that gonna do to me? Like, like that's just the world we live in. And if you can't handle those type of comments, then this is gonna sound brutal for me to say this. Then maybe you're not strong enough or you don't respect yourself enough to really fulfill that. Like you really gotta tell yourself. You really gotta be delusional. You gotta really be a fan of yourself. If no one's gonna be a fan of you, then be a fan of yourself. And dude, there's a billion, trillion, bajillion people in this world. There's someone out there that's gonna like what you do. And there's also gonna be someone that doesn't like what you do. But regardless, and it's as simple as we were told when we were kids, to keep doing it. Just keep going, regardless. Because someone out there could stumble and they could find it, and it could really change the whole trajectory of their life and your life too. Whatever you create, whatever you post, whatever you share to the world, people want to listen. That's my take.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Just keep doing it. You never know. And like at the end of the day, like you shouldn't let other people dictate whether or not you keep going. It should be you
Of
that
course not.
dictates
No,
that.
it's you.
So
It's your choice.
yeah. So, just do what you gotta do at the end of the day. And you'll be fine. Nothing too crazy.
How are we in our colorings now? I think I'm done. You're almost done. Where are you at right now?
I pretty much finished everything. I just need to add some details.
I kind of need to color this cat though. I'm trying to figure out what to color the cat chef. Right now he's just white. All right, let's do one more. One gotta go. This one is kind of similar to actually it's not similar to the first one, but it is based on the topic about like gaming and stuff. Because I know you're into that, and you're into the tech as well. So this one I'm kind of curious to hear what you have to say about it. I want to see like how you're gonna back this up. So one gotta go: mouse, keyboard, and headphones.
You know? Oh, fuck. You know what? I know. Mouse.
Why? Why do you choose to
So-
eliminate the mouse but keep the keyboard and headphones?
So the reason I do it, and I'm looking at this from a gaming perspective. So keep that in mind.
Mhm.
But basically, the problem, the whole reason that like cross-platform competitive is like a big problem is because of the thing of aim assist, right?
True.
Like aim assist on controllers is like sometimes if it's tuned too strong, it's really overpowered, and like mouse and keyboard has no chance. And a great example of this, there's more nuance to it, like whether the kill time is really fast or really slow and stuff like that. But anyway, sometimes aim assist can be really really strong, especially when there's slower kill times and like FPSs. So like when it comes to like aim assist, like it becomes a huge topic of debate, and like people argue like, oh, like this is easy, or like, oh, this is like not as easy as you think, blah 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 blah. But in reality, it's if you just got rid of the mouse and everybody had to play aim assist, it wouldn't matter. like whether or not they have like a stick or like arrow keys to aim, right? Because at the end of the day, it's the same. I mean, I think the only thing that you could argue is that you have 360 movement on like a controller, but at that point, just get a controller. It's like more accessible than like getting a whole PC to run a game and getting like keyboard and mouse, you know?
Interesting. You know, if I was asked
Yeah.
that question, my first instinct would be like, oh, I'll definitely get rid of the headphones. I'll just use my speakers. I think if I'm trying to think of it besides just gaming, you know, for music, I have to rely like on headphones, earphones, so I can hear more
Yeah.
of the sounds, you know. If I get rid of the mouse, I'll just learn how to use a controller. I'll use a controller to control FL Studio. I'm trying to produce music. The keyboard definitely has to stay because I am an advocate for hotkeys. I'm always about them hotkeys all the time. I use them a lot more, you know, than an average human being does. But interesting. You decided to get rid of the mouse. Okay. That's a good point too. So we're gonna do some quick rapid questions. I'm gonna give you a question and you just answer as quick as possible. Now, you don't have to go really in depth with it. One artist you want to collab with in the future.
Keshi.
Favorite emoji.
Oh fuck. The fucking the crying one.
The crying one. Like, is he laughing or he's like actually crying? Laughing?
No, like the one that's like genuinely crying. Like he's like but you use it for like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I'm dying.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
type shit. You know,
All right. Choose one color to wear for the rest of your life.
black.
Heartbreak or yearning songs.
Like what I would rather make.
It could be make or listen to.
Damn, that's a hard one because they're kind of like two sides of the same coin.
It can be, yeah.
If it was
Yearning-
making
Yearning,
if it was
love, you
making,
know.
like heartbreak, I guess, because I find like the concept of like relationships ending like interesting in a writing perspective, and in a storytelling perspective as well. But as far as listening to, I actually listen to a lot of yearning stuff, like Bruno Mars and like June, like other
Mhm.
stuff. So I'd say probably yearning. Like I could low key compromise and just make
Oh,
yearning stuff.
yearning. That's interesting because a lot of people know you for making sad, like heartbreakers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, like I said, they are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, they
you
are.
know?
They are pretty neck and neck. Sometimes, yeah, they can be. Favorite Pokemon.
Ooh, okay. If it's a starter, Cyndaquil. I've always been a very big Cyndaquil advocate.
Good starter.
If it's not a starter, and it's like a regular Pokemon that's not like a legendary or like a mythical or like anything, you know, like one of the limited time Pokemons and stuff like that. Low-key, like Altaria is pretty sick. Like I like Swablu and Altaria, and I like the Mega Evolution, Mega Altaria. It's a little like girly.
What generation
but
is that?
I like the Altaria is Emerald, so what is that, 3, I think?
Oh, okay. I only know the first generation.
Mega Altaria came in like future generations. But I like the idea of like a weather-based dragon, I guess, or like a because like the design is very cloud-based and stuff like that. And I just wish it had like a better moveset in competitive, I guess. I don't know. Like I feel like it's like somewhat cool. There's something like alluring about it that I can't really explain that why I kind of like it. But yeah, Cyndaquil and Altaria are kind of like neck and neck. I would probably like say Cyndaquil more just because of the whole Typhlosion like line in general, like the last evolution.
That's like a water type, right?
No, it's the fire type. It's like
fire type.
Yeah, it's like the little mouse rat thing.
Oh, okay. Damn. Yeah,
Yeah.
I only know like the first 2 generations. They're all a bit of a blur to me. Okay. Awesome.
But yeah.
And then last one. Describe your music in 3 words. Originally it was gonna be 1 word. I thought that was hard.
Oh,
So I
God.
said, okay, let me make it 3 words.
3 words? Fuck. I don't even know how to describe my music in general. Sad. No, it's not always sad. Shit.
You're known for that. I
Um,
mean, I love your sad songs.
I am somewhat, yeah. A heartbreak.
We can
no,
add we can add
yearn
filler
break-
words. Yearn break. Wait, that could be a
yearn
new
break,
new
yearn
genre.
break pop. There you go. Yearn break pop.
Yearn break
Mm.
pop. I've never heard
There
that
you go.
before. You might have created something. Shaun Ivory, the inventor of urn break pop. Yo, that's actually tough. That's actually tough. Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, those are just some quick rapid questions now. So I think we're pretty much done with our coloring. Yeah, so yeah, if you want to send it over and then I'll kind of show it.
Yeah, how do I
You can, you,
export
can,
or
you can just as a JPEG or something and you just send in this Discord. And to those that are watching, let me know which one
oh shit.
which one was your favorite.
We had we had a very similar deal with the sign, which I think is really funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, you did some shading too? Damn, bro. You advanced. You advanced. I just displayed this color, man. I was focused on the conversation. You were really locked in.
Yeah, I was like, let me try this. I'm not really good at like lighting things like that. I was like,
There you go.
I
yo.
honestly just
This
made
is
them all the
Shaun's.
same direction. So I like how mine turned out though. Like in general.
Yeah, mine was just very
I like yours too.
Mine was very flashy. Honestly, I should have chose a better countertop.
Yours is very like cartoon-esque, and I like it though. Like I genuinely like it. It's like very like
The more-
cartoon, like
The
old
more I
school.
look into it, it's kind of like a sushi bar Americanized, like at a carnival or something. Like
yeah, it's like a
the red-
carnival thing.
red and
Something
white.
I'd, like read out of like a Dr. Seuss book almost. You know, like
Yeah.
it's cool.
I was
I
like
like
trying
it.
to figure out what to color like the cats too. I was like, do I go with something
Oh,
exotic
shit.
or
Our
why not?
lantern is the same.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, the red and white. We got that part.
Our seats are like kind
Oh.
of the same. I like how we both went with red shoes.
I know. I do. At first, they were supposed to be like black, but I was like, it's too simple. So I was like, let me just go with the red bow tie and red slippers. We did choose the same color for the sign, but a different text. Yeah, you went with the orange. I went with the red, just to kind of mash with
yeah,
the.
the idea is like pretty much the same though.
Oh, I actually went with the green on the seaweed. You went with like the dark black or gray.
Yeah. I went
I-
with like a blackish because like seaweed is like greenish. It depends.
It depends, yeah.
Usually the ones that are green are like the seaweed snacks that I run into. Like at least over here, the seaweeds that I run into over here when it comes to sushi are more like they're darker. They're like
Mhm.
blackish.
There you go. Hey, Chad, let me know which one you guys like.
Yeah, I think both of ours came out really good.
I think we
so-
did good, man. I think we did good.
Oh, yeah.
We are colorists. You know what I'm saying? We know how to get it done.
Oh,
We are
I
colorists.
don't know. I don't know if that's a good word for that.
Anyways, I have one more question to ask. I think this is something that we might have already talked about a little bit here and there, but I think it's a good way to end this, podcast, this segment. So, what are what goals are you working towards right now, and what can we expect from you this year, and furthermore?
I think my goal right now is to just kind of like see if I could get like a wider spread audience. I think I've been stuck at the same place for a while, and I'm still kind of stuck there if I'm being honest, which is like okay.
You're not alone.
But the overall goal, I guess, is to like try to perform, like live. And like obviously the end goal is to like make this full time.
Mm.
Like I don't have to be rich, of course, and I don't have to make like a shit ton of money. I just need to make enough so that I could like get by and like live like somewhat comfortably, I mean, that's like the ultimate goal, just like being able to make this my full-time job and just like, just focusing straight on this. I do want to perform. As far as this year goes, I'm gonna release a lot of singles this year, and I am thinking about making like an EP or something maybe next year.
Ooh, you heard it there, folks. Shaun Ivory EP. That'll be
But
your
I don't know
first.
yet. Yeah, it would be
Oh.
my first. I do want to do a project.
Yeah.
I would like to build my audience a bit more, but I think it's coming to the point where I kind of just have to accept that my audience may not grow for a while. And if it does, that's great. If it doesn't, that's fine. I think I'm gonna go through with the EP plan as much as I can, just because I wanna do something that's like on a larger scale. Because I don't think I've never really done that. Even if it's something small like a 4-song EP, like I want to do something that like can be inspiring to me or like other people, even if it is like a small small subgroup of people. But yeah, I mean that's the main agenda. A lot of singles. Like I am working a lot more on my visual content too.
You have. Yeah.
So that
I've been
is
seeing it. You definitely been like up on your cinematic game. I've been saying
yeah.
it.
So I'm trying my best to up my visual aspect of my artistry too. So I'm trying to like get better in other areas too. So slowly but surely I'll become like pretty good in every area, and maybe just maybe people will like notice me, you know. But only time will tell, and I'm having a good fun time doing it. So
Yeah.
and I have the means to do so. So it's not a bad I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to just keep chasing it on the side while I, actually do what my actual job is like as a main thing.
But if you believe and keep going, then who knows? Who knows? So
I sure hope so.
awesome. Yeah, that's pretty much all the questions that I have to ask. You did drop the new song called "Hold Me Harder,"
I did.
and I thought, since you make music, we're not only gonna be talking about music, but maybe you could sing, your new song to those that are listening and watching.
I will try my best. It is
It is getting
2:30,
yeah.
so I'm a little tired.
He's
but
in the East
I
Coast, so.
yes,
All right, y'all.
sir.
Chad, do not be hard on Shaun Ivory. He's gonna sing to you his new song, "Hold Me Harder." I'll let you take over. Go ahead and do your thing.
Yeah, this is my new single, "Hold Me Harder." This is a live version, first ever. All right, let's do this. Hearts come when we barely notice. Emotions took the beating. So long till we reach this moment. So long till we hit the deep end. Not going back. We're past the intersection. Time turns to black, but there's no stars to mention. Now we're falling forward again as the haze start to spin. Before I go, can you just hold me harder? Heart breaks and soul. If we could reach the bottom, someday we might meet once again and start at the end. But for now, I'll give you all I can take. Words being said, but they're always broken. Try to pick it up, but we're always choking. We're falling forward again, and there's no way to win. So before I go, can you just hold me harder? Heart breaks and soul. If we could reach the bottom, someday we might meet once again and start at the end. But for now, I'll give you all I can take. Tell me that you wanted to stay. Just use it till I fucking break. I'm lying, I just want an escape. Hope I'll escape.
Shaun Ivory, everybody. That was Shaun Ivory. This was Color and Yap. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it all to the end, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you're in chat, make sure you spam your W's. Shaun, anything you want to say to everyone out there watching online, to the whole world?
For anyone who's watching, thank you for watching this whole thing. Hopefully you got to get to know me better. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy my music. And if you don't, just let me know. I'm always down for feedback, regardless of whether or not you have music experience. I'm always trying to strive better to be an artist. And yeah, hit me up anytime. I'm always, I'll try to respond when I can if I'm not busy, of course. I don't check social media too often, but I will respond eventually.
That's because he's working on something, y'all. Because he's in the lab. He's locked in.
I do be in the lab, but yeah, no, I do respond. So feel free to message me, and yeah, thank you everybody.
Thanks again for being a part of this, bro. It means a lot. I can't say anything further, but me and Shaun got something coming up very soon, y'all. There's something we've been kind of planning, and we're actually excited for it. I know you're excited too. And we've been wanting to do this for a long time, but you'll find out soon. But yeah, all our socials right here. I think my editor will put my socials here. Shaun Ivory socials right there. Yeah, but that's it, y'all. We dropping the pen. We out. Color and Yap. Peace.
Peace.